Morning, everyone. This is Trend Follow this side, and it's that time of the week. Today, we'll look at some of the zones, some of the biases, some of the trade ideas for this week, as always. I hope you had a great week last time. I would say I did because the plan worked, but I couldn't execute because on vacation. So, before I start the video, just a disclaimer that some week maybe the video may be missing. I will try my best to put it forward to upload it, but I'm right now not at my location at my where I stay, so the internet here isn't great, so the video may be a little slower, like in terms of the data. Plus, on top of that, I would say that maybe the voice quality. So bear with me just for this month, guys. I hope that you can sustain these changes just for a month, as I said. So let's plan this week, guys. So last week our idea worked perfectly. We were biased to the downside on JPY, where we were saying JPY should act weak. And if you see, our favorite was CADJPY. And look at this weekly candle. Look at this great weekly candle. But I would also point out, look at this choppiness. This is to be expected this month, guys. I have said this month would be difficult. You may have to hold longer than expected, and be careful with your trades. Anyway, before we start the week, let's look at the news. As always, we look at the news, right? So, with respect to the news, this is the news I see for this week. There isn't something like, I wouldn't say like we have great news. I would have loved if there were more red folder news, but the theme is GBP and USD. You have USDCPY on CPI on Wednesday, and then GBP on Thursday, GDP, and then PPI, right? So I think the main action would be midweek, starting from midweek. So I should say midweek or Tuesday. So right, because this claimant count change can also come into picture. But mostly I feel Tuesday, Wednesday would be a great time to put our trades in. Anyway, so from there, let's look at DXY first. So DXY, we nailed it last week. I said, if you remember, I logged my position on GBPUSD, great 3RR trade. That was in the plan itself. If you want to learn from it, right? I always say, like, even if you didn't follow the plan or didn't follow the zones in here, at least watch the videos to learn, because eventually you have to make these trade plans yourself. So on DXY, I said, so the candle closed on this, the green candle, and I said either it will do this, right, or we will be ready if it makes a big down move. Then when it comes back up, then I will trade it, and this is where I traded it. I added to my position on GBPUSD, right? So now on DXY, yes, it can still, this zone can still act like supply, and we can go down from here. I would rather be safe because this is not a fresh zone. So again, the logic would be, if it comes down, maybe if it comes up back, maybe I'll think about it. But right now I'm at a place where I don't want to trade this zone as such, right? We have to look into it. But the main zone I care about on DXY is this zone, right? So this zone, especially if you look at the weekly, right? Previous week is a long week, right? So in that case, what really happens is this act like a vacuum. So even if DXY goes down, let's say DXY comes down at the start of the week, I would rather play USD strength for some time. It's against the monthly trend, but for some time, right? A short-term strength. And if I'm playing strength on USD, there is only one name which I can think of, which we'll discuss later. It should be JPY most probably. But point being, like, there's no point just playing the downside here. Instead, I will let the price action come here and then let it go down. Now in there are two. Can I just select this and delete all this, because it's getting messy? Just a second. So let's delete this part. Yeah. So ideally, the most ideal situation in this weekly candle is this zone right here. If we can come here, that's the ultimate short zone. But looking at this here, that kinds of makes it difficult for it to just cross it. So my POI here is this zone, right here, right? So if you look at this area, basically this area, right? That's my POI, and most probably it should break this level. So I want price action to come above this level, and then I will look for a reversal, right? And that's where we'll enter into USD names. Okay, so within USD names, that's what my thought process is. On DXY, that's my thought process, that my major area of interest would be when it comes in this zone. All right, let's talk about JPY here. Okay, JPY, I think again we nailed it. I was saying that JPY should act weaker than other pairs, and cross pairs JPY would be the best, where we'll focus on CADJPY and GBPJPY, which work perfectly. And this week it's the same thing. We have to see if JPY can show more weakness, right? So in here, what I think is, at least on daily, if you see this one, let me just make it bigger. So on daily, you form this double, right, like a supply here. So I think JPY should come here. But if you see DXY, right, we want a bigger move. So I want DXY in that region and JPY in this region, right? That's the thought process on JPY, where I think JPY, if DXY comes, where is it? Comes here somewhere, right? Breaks this low, and JPY comes here, it can be a great one, right? I think JPY will continue showing weakness. So at least not, I shouldn't say continue, because on monthly the trend is up, but at least I think something like this is possible. But I don't think it makes sense to focus on USDJPY. Instead, I think we should rather focus on AUDJPY or NZDJPY. Now you'll ask me why, right? So I think one of the thing about JPY is it's a risk off currency, and if JPY is weak, then AUD and NZD are definitely should act strong if it's happening because of risk emotion, right? So in here, I think at least we have discussed before, this is a drawn liquidity and nothing changes here, right? I think we will come in this zone, ideally break this whole high, ideally. Now something very interesting here is happening. If generally when you look at weekly candle, the most important part of the weekly candle is previous week candles, high, low, open, close, right? So this is the area on which is 92685. So this is the area which is our primary area of interest, and this one secondary, right? So if you see this one has a lot of confluence. Firstly, there's this weekly zone, this one, plus there's this daily block, right? So if I want to enter this, I will enter somewhere here below this line. Now what is interesting is what I do in these cases, for example, let's say I want to trade this, okay, and let's say my target is here, let's say, and I want 3 RR, right? So let's say this is the stop loss. You can see it's 2 RR. So what I will do is I will reduce it till I can get, let's say, 2.8, reduce this a little, 3. Now this gives you even enough bandwidth for it to stop loss and everything to get that trade. So how I manage the trade is something like this. Like, I know the target, I know my stop loss, and if it matches with 3 RR, I will put my entry around that, because you never know which trade goes right or wrong. It's all probability. So if you can extract 3, 2.5, it's all good. So on AUDJPY, this is my area of interest. Let's go to NZDJPY. Within NZDJPY, the same logic. What is interesting about NZDJPY? Again, let me just quickly delete it. Here it is. So NZDJPY, what is interesting is, if you go to weekly, this candle move, this move, that previous week candle is happening because of this block, right? So the probability of this move continuing and taking this high is good. Okay, so that's what I would suggest. And here my area of interest is similarly this here, right? So if you again, so if I take, let's say I want to enter here, let's say I want my stop loss here, target here, how much am I getting? 2.26. So I'll reduce this a little bit, 2.5, and reduce this a little bit, 3, right? So sometimes what you can even do is like go to 12 hour and find the zones. For example, in this case, I would rather enter here. Now, will I get an entry? I don't know. I don't know. But that's how I put my orders. That's how where my probability of the trade working is highest. So that's what I do. So NZDJPY, coming back to it, I think this zone, please take care of it, because again, this zone is, you have this weekly up close. So this is the best area. So this matches with weekly level, a daily block. So man, I love this trade. So I would, if you want even perfection, so this would be your entry, this would be your stop loss. Okay, so that's NZDJPY. GBPJPY, let's go to GBPJPY. This one is damn interesting, and if someone can find it by themselves, great. You can pause the video and try to find it, but I will tell you now. Okay, so you are getting bought from this weekly, but if you look at the monthly, look at this, guys, from that block. So drawn liquidity is clearly this, and maybe if all this JPY move is true, maybe higher, right? So that's why I'm very much interested in GBPJPY. It didn't have an up close candle. I think in this case I'm interested here. Yes, it can just bounce from here, right? So this will depend where is what is DXY and JPY doing. I would have said please follow me on Twitter and I will comment on this, but I'm not sure about this month. Will I be able to, depending on, like I'm on vacation, and if I'm busy I may not be able to. I would just suggest wherever you enter, you can put a stop loss below this or this, with the thought process that you are following a weekly and monthly chart. So it may take longer than usual to lock. Okay, so let's go to CADJPY again, guys. Similar pattern, right? So monthly is getting here. So this is clear drawn liquidity. I do think it should come here somewhere. But again, holding time would be longer. You just got what will you say, this move is coming from both monthly and weekly area, so definitely it's coming here. And I hate when I by mistake say these things. Not definitely, nothing is definite in the market. Very high probability that it's coming here, and I would take entry somewhere here, stop loss somewhere here, exit there. That's my thought process on CADJPY. This is working to the T according to our plan. So this is the one I will definitely focus on. Also focus on. All these are great ideas. I do feel GBPJPY, yes, it did, and CADJPY, especially GBPJPY will need you may hold the longest, but it will eventually work, right? And maybe it will work much better than others in the long run by the end of the month, in my opinion. Okay, let's go to USDCAD. USDCAD, I have mentioned before that this is my area of interest. I don't know if DXY will make such a big move, but at least I cannot with this here. Yes, this may happen. I wouldn't lie. Clearly, this can happen. Let's look at if we can just go to 8, or is there clean supply there, right? Yeah, I do think if you want to trade this, you can trade this zone in this, right? And it may work in your favor. It's not one of the trade ideas that I like a lot. I would rather trade it. Here and here. And now, if you see that in weekly, what will happen is you will come in this zone, like exactly how which one was it? DXY looks like. So I would rather have this and stop loss here. So that's my trade idea, and the exit would still be the low, right? So that's the trade idea on USD-CAD, where I think you can enter somewhere in this region, right? This was a previous trade idea. Don't look into this. Exit somewhere here. So try to enter where you can get 2-3 RR. I personally try 2.5 or 3 because just because yeah, I mean, just because eventually process overtakes results and everything, your accounts are green basically. Anyway, now let's go to GBP USD. Again, this one, what is great about this is the best in terms of monthly. This was the trade idea. I bought it from here, sold it right here, right? Now, when it comes back, I think what we'll have to do is, I don't know if it will bounce from here or not, but my focus would be in this area, stop loss below this. Why? This is level on top of level, right? This is not fresh, so I don't have very high confidence that it will hold. I do think it should hold. So, but your target should be somewhere very high, right? To get those 3 hours. So, for example, if you take this is 1.8, right? So again, what will I do? What will I do? I will try to reduce it further. Now it becomes 2. I will try to take it to 2.5, something like this, and then 3, something like this. That's the way I'm thinking about it. I may have to look further into this in terms of like, should I take the whole thing and be safe? So this one, I would definitely say it also depends where DXY is. If DXY is in this zone, at least DXY needs to be above this line. I would just say that to take GBPUSD. Similarly, NZDUSD, what I will do is, I don't have it marked. Oh, I thought I had it marked. So this one, yeah. Here, what I want is this one coming below this weekly low in some area here or here. Okay, so my focus here would be below this area. Ideally, what I would like to see here is something like, where is this one? Yeah, so you have this demand, right? So something like this, with target being this, something like this, right? Point being, none of the DXY trades, I will not take any USD names unless it crosses this level, guys. So again, our focus would be mostly, we'll be focused on JPY again, but then USD will come back to it, because what is happening on USD, it's the same pattern everywhere. Like for example, just in case Euro USD, right? So I will just look at weekly candle. I do think it should do something like this, right? First it will go down, because what is happening is you are coming down from a very clean 12. I think I definitely pointed it in one of the previous videos that you can go short here. I have not been watching the market so much. I'm just making these plans and putting my orders in, right? So I think it can come back here. But point being, I said it will get rejected, and trust me, it will. This is start of rejection. So let's say it may bounce till here. Let's say here, and you want to short it, you can even short it. I wouldn't suggest that. I'm not going in favor of DXY strength throughout the month for what it's worth. Anyway, so my focus, again coming back to the major point, I think every chart on USD is showing this. So I want multiple names below or above weekly high, depending on, is it Euro USD or USDJPY, right? Basically, I want USD to show some strength, come into that weekly zone, DXY, and then I will take these names. I hope that made sense, right? So coming back to the list, my focus would be JPY first and USD second. Within USD, my main focus would be GBPUSD, USDCAD, and NZDUSD. Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you have a great trading week. Stay safe out there. Let me know if I can help you further. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. I do comment on my trade ideas, because not like if I go through 10 ideas, I will be on all 10 trades. If I go through 10, all 8 would work. No, or all 10 would work. This is not how it works. These are just probabilities, and the way the price action comes into these zones matters a lot. The way the price action comes into these, like, are they coming together or not, matters a lot. So accordingly, I comment on Twitter. Feel free to follow me. If not, at least watch these videos, learn something. If that also doesn't help, let me know how I can improve. Alright guys, have a great trading week. Stay safe. Bye bye.